Brother Shaolin Fantastic. What's happening, everybody? I wanted to come on out. I'm on my way to work, and dark 30 in the morning to dark 30 at night. Video gonna be kind of dark. Y'all know what's up. And it's just that season for me. It's been kind of rough. I just wanted to do a good overview of the season, which to me, one of the better seasons so far. One of the better seasons I've seen in a while. I'll put it like that. So in this video, I want to recap this past weekend, give an overview of my team, and talk about some things in the AFC South and a few other little tidbits. But right now it looks as though it's coming down to Indy and us. I mean, it's a play-in game, which is, I think that's what everybody figured. I believe the NFL has flexed that game to the Sunday night game, which will probably be the last game of the NFL season. And that game will be for all the marbles to get into the playoffs. Whoever wins that game gets into the playoffs. Whoever loses is going home. That's just, that's just how that's going to work. And, honestly, we got to see what this injury statuses look like with Marcus Mariota and Jarrell Casey. We already know we're decimated with injuries, with Logan Ryan being out. I mean, we got, a whole lot of stuff we already know about Delaney Walker. We all know about certain other injuries to our offensive line, things like that. We're pretty banged up, with Jack Conklin being out, things like that. We just got a lot of issues going on. Wide receiver core depleted. It just, you name it. It's looking bad. But nevertheless, it's no excuse. Injuries are part of the game, and we got to be prepared to play. Now, I want to mention a little something here about my coach, Mike Vrabel. And I've been critical of him this season. I've been very critical right here on this channel. I've been critical of him, and I stay critical of him. I look back at some of these Titans fans, and I disagree with them on Mike Vrabel, because I told you, Mike Vrabel is the reason that we're in the position that we're in. There's about 4 decisions that Mike Vrabel could have made, sound decisions that good coaches make, that he could have made and decided to be Kenny Rogers and gamble, and we're 9-6. Well, we could have very well have won 11 games by now, and possibly winning the division. And I'll name them to you. The going forward in the Charger game, that going forward in the Charger game, and in the, we could have took that game in overtime and then got our chances there. That could have very well been a win. We had the momentum at that point in the game, and he did some boneheaded shit, gambling. The Miami game early in the season, the first game of the season, where he went for it on 4th and 2, 4th and goal. It was like on the 2-yard line, and didn't get it, which was another dumb decision. Didn't get it. Derrick Henry was not on the field, and went for it on 4th and 2. We didn't get it, and then Miami turns around right after that, drives the ball 98 yards all the way down the field. Took the momentum out, took the air right out of our tires. That was a 14-point swing, 10 to 14-point swing, right there. We only lost that game by 7. That could have decided the game. And another instance when Marcus Mariota, we had 1st and goal on the Chargers. 1st and goal. Marcus Mariota threw his first red zone interception in his whole career. Once again, Derrick Henry on the bench. You got a grinder like Derrick Henry on the bench, sitting around, just twiddling his thumbs, and they out there throwing the ball all crazy and taking all kind of crazy chances against a pretty damn solid defense. So you could have just ran Derrick Henry, try to pound that ball into the end zone. If you don't get it, take 3 points and go. With that Those are two mistakes in one game. Another one I can name in the Houston game where he just opened up the fucking floodgates. That game would have been a lot closer. Is where he did the same thing. Went for it on fourth down. We didn't get it. And handoff, 97 yards to the house. To the house. See, it's like after he does this gambling, these teams have made him pay. And those are just a few instances. Mike Vrabel, now, see, I know what you're going to say. When he did it against Philly, nobody said that when he did it against Philly, he was No, I said the same thing. I said, this guy's a gambler. It doesn't work. It doesn't work more times than it does work. This is the reason why good coaches don't do shit like that. Bill Belichick does not do shit like that. Not in those instances. Bill Belichick has been known to do certain things. Like I'll give you an example. Like this weekend, Nick, this coming up weekend, if Mike Vrabel was to gamble and try to win the game, because a tie ain't gonna do anything for either one of us. We either win or lose. I could understand that. But early in the season, you need to make solid, sound decisions. Not, coaching the game like you're in Vegas. He's like, come on seven. This is the kind of shit that Mike Vrabel is doing while we're sitting here having to watch him do this shit. He's torturing us, having us do this shit. Mike Vrabel is a very bad decision maker. Does he get the team prepared? In some instances he does. Some instances he doesn't. Matt LaFleur, sort of disappointing to me. I mean, he's shown flashes of brilliance, and then, especially after the bye. After the bye, that's the best that we looked. After the bye, when we came out and stomped the Cowboys, stomped the mud hole in their ass, stomped the Cowboys, and then stomped the Patriots. Boy, that was so good. So, and I'm beginning to believe that this is not Matt LaFleur's fault. I'm starting to believe that this is intervention with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel I'm sorry, guys. My opinion of Mike Vrabel is not high. So, the season could have went a lot better had Mike Vrabel made some better decisions. But he's going against, sound coaching decisions. He's going against the grain, and he's trying to make a name for himself on a team that should have already clinched a playoff spot by now. Should have already clinched the playoff spot by now. There's no way that we should be in a position that we in because of certain. And Bill Cowher even said it. Bill Cowher said it after the game against the Chargers. He said it. He said the same thing I said. You don't gamble like that. He said the same thing I said, and he gave Mike Vrabel a tongue lashing, as he should have. Now, let's move on to this weekend. Because, I start talking about that, and I get mad, and I start cussing and all kind of shit, because I'm Mike Vrabel, to me, is not the coach for us. I'm sorry. He's just not. Now, let me move on to the next instance. To these big mouth Texans, and Joseph Tinney in particular. Mr. Tinney, let me ask you a question. You did a lot of. I ain't gonna lie. You cut deep. You cut deep after that loss after we lost to y'all. You cut deep. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I gotta be honest with you about that. That shit cut deep. That shit that you were talking. That was that. I don't take things personal, but I didn't take that personal. But that cut deep. You went in, man. You went in, and I got to say, as far as trash talking goes, it was fucking great. I mean, I can't even argue that, but yeah, it cut deep. But let me ask you a question, man. How does it feel to be just a few weeks ago in solid command of the division? Now, I don't believe that y'all going to lose that game to Jacksonville, even though they're starting Blake Bortles. They're like they're trying to, they're going to shoot their best shot at y'all. I don't believe that they'll win. It'll be great if they did, because it'll be funny as shit if they did and we won the division, because that'll be an epic shit talk. But you better believe that after that game, oh man, you're going to get a mouthful from me. But my football mind says, there's no way. There's no way that Jacksonville comes to Houston and beat y'all the way they've been looking And just because they beat Miami, that doesn't mean anything. But that I got to be honest with you, that would be great. But I don't believe it happened. But how does it feel for the y'all to be so damn good? They're talking about going to the Super Bowl and all this old shit. How does it feel right now to be, y'all clinched the playoff spot, to be looking at going on the road for the playoffs? I mean, if you lose that game, you're going on the road for the playoffs. Look, I don't believe that y'all lose that game. I just don't. Houston is the better team. There's no doubt about it. I'm not gonna even sit up here and say that, that they'll do it. I would love for that to happen, but if you would have asked me to pick that game, I'm picking the Texans. And whatever the point spread is, they'll cover that. They should cover that. They have the better team, even with the injuries. They're just a better team. They got a better quarterback. Right now, the better coach. If you ask me to be realistic on it, that's my realistic view. I don't believe that Jacksonville will win that game. But how does it feel? Y'all should be solidly in command. Won the division by now. Y'all won 9 straight games. And all this stuff. All this shit that you talk. And you could possibly lose the division. How does that feel? How does that feel, man? You got to feel a little kind of way about it. But at the end of the day, you'll probably end up winning the division. I think we're going to get in the playoffs. I think we're going to beat Indy. Indy. Everybody right now is fighting. When you run up against a team like Indy ran up on the Giants, everybody's trying to play spoiler right now. It's not. These games are going to be tough. We played the Redskins, with a 4th-string quarterback, and they played pretty tough. Everybody's playing tough right now. Y'all played the Eagles. The Eagles were fighting for their playoff lives, and they beat y'all. They barely won. They beat y'all. I thought that was a good game, by the way. That's why I say that, Deshaun Watson's just a better quarterback. He was the better quarterback on the field, even yesterday. There's no doubt about it. I've always had high praise for Deshaun Watson. I thought he's a great quarterback. Now, back to this. That scenario, I personally don't think it's likely, but how does that feel? How does that feel? Not even clinched the AFC South yet. All these other teams have clinched their divisions, and y'all haven't even clinched the AFC South. You had a commanding lead on both us and Indy. And the other way around, if Indy wins and y'all lose, they win the division. So these games are going to be very important on Sunday. But while I don't believe that y'all game will be very competitive, I think y'all will win. Our game is going to be the one to look at. The NFL has flexed our game into the Sunday night game. And while I'm on that point, my preview of this game is going to be tough. It's not going to be like last time when Dean Pease had a heart condition right there before the game, and that had to count for something, and he had to go to the hospital. And then Andrew Luck torched. He did what he's supposed to do. He torched us for 38 points. That won't happen this time. Even with a decimated secondary, we got injuries. We did get Kenny Vaccaro back. Our safety position is looking pretty good. That won't happen again. This game will be much closer. I'm not calling the win here, but because it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for both teams on both ends. I think it's going to be a struggle. If we can get Marcus Mariota back and get him to play a mistake-free game, we got a very good chance at winning this game. We need all hands on deck. We have the better running back. They have a very good offensive line, and their defense is playing pretty good. But I think Derrick Henry is going to be the X factor in this game. Derrick Henry is going to be X factor in clock management, time of possession, the way he runs the ball. He's just been doing great. These last 3 games, he's been tearing it up. And dumbass Mike Vrabel and Matt LaFleur even tried to sit him on the bench against the Redskins, where the fans in the stadium had to call Derrick Henry's name to get him on the field. So that's bad when the fans end up having to take over coaching. That's a whole nother subject. Mike Vrabel, I'm not impressed. 10-6, we could have easily been 12-4 this year, behind some dumb decisions that Mike Vrabel made. I was warned about this guy. I just got to say, I was warned about. And sorry. But we do have a chance to get in the playoffs. Just get me in, baby, and let's see what we can do from there. I think with the injuries, we may be able to get in the playoff and get one win. I don't know, depending on what the matchup is. And my God, I hope it's the Texans, but it's not going to be. It's probably will end up, if we get in as a 6 seed, we'll probably play the 3 seed, which I think will be the Texans. Or the Ravens, depending on what they end up as, I think it will be the Texans. But, whatever. Just get me in the playoffs, and we'll see. We'll go from there. Get me in the playoffs, baby. Play in and we win. Play in game. Playoff environment. Sunday night. Be there or be square. Damn it. I know all eyes will be on us. Charlotte Fantastic. To the house, baby.